now the various prototyping softwares available in the market are Adobe XD, Figma, and Sketch, and we'll be using Figma for this workshop, as you all know. Okay, so the basic things that I would like you all to remember while designing a user interface is color and contrast, the spacing, the scale, alignment, and reusability. So we'll be understanding all of these points in the with the help of the example in the next few slides. Okay, so this is just a example registration form. Now assume this as a registration form from oscillation from our website. Okay, so now what I have done is that I have violated all these points to remember. I have violated all these points purposely, and we'll try to fix this form. Okay, as you can see that this form doesn't look right. Okay, so uh, now it is not like this form will not work provided that it is coded correctly, but the user interface has something not good with it. So regarding this form, let us talk about the first point, color and contrast. So first of all, color, most of you know what is it, right? But uh, the contrast is the color of the font, the difference in the light of the color of the font which is on the foreground with respect to its background. Okay, so now as you can see, the heading over here, that is register for oscillation, is very dark blue in color, and the background is kind of violet. So there is the contrast is very weak in this, or the contrast is very bad, and it is pretty difficult to read it. Same thing goes for this help text in this input field. And now let us talk about color. So submit button is the is an element on your this registration form, right? So usually red color stands for cancel or danger, or cancel out. But sub submit color, if it is filled with red color, it looks like cancel. Okay, the user will not be willing to click on submit. So we'll fix these things in the next slide. Okay, so as you can see, it our form has already started looking better. The first of all, the contrast of the heading is now very strong, is or it has been improved compared as previously. Also, this help text or the placeholder has been changed to a grayish color, and also the submit button now actually looks like a submit button, and it looks like a okay, let us proceed. So, and another thing that we talked about previously was spacing. So now you can see that the color and contrast has been fixed, but there is one more thing missing. That is, all the contents in this form are aligned to the extreme left, right? I mean, there is no equal spacing or equidistant spacing from the left margin. We usually call this padding. So what we could do is that we could use some white space to make it look better. Okay. So as you can see, these elements are now padded towards the right, and there is padding on left. That is basically there is some white space on the left. Okay. Now another thing is scaling. So now you can see that the corner radius of this form is very sharp. Okay, I mean the corner radius value is too much, and also the space below the submit button is too much, and also the input field is very short. Okay, it is not matching with the length of this form. So we'll fix that in next slide. Okay, so as you can see, compared to the previous slide where there was no proper scaling, the first thing that we can notice is that the corner radius has been, lightened down a bit, and also the input field's width is also increased, and also the space below the submit button has also been reduced. Okay, So this looks very much better than before. Okay. Now, another thing that I would like to talk about is the alignment. So, another improvement that we can do in this form is that we could center align this heading, and we could also center align this submit button in this form. Okay. Okay. So this form looks much better than the previous pink form, right? So this is basically it about basics of UI. Now we'll move to Figma. Okay, so before that, I'll just demonstrate that what are we going to make today. So we are going to recreate our IIT's website. So this will be the landing page with this transition. Okay, with this transition, and this is our home page with some about us text content and an introductory video or introductory GIF playing, and below that we have this testimonial section where our SCOMs are placed. Okay, and then we have this horizontal scroll effect over this SCOM card grid, and then finally we have a footer, and there are these navigation links on the footer, social media navigation links on the footer. So if you hover over them, it changes their color. Okay, so we'll also learn how to do that, and also we'll move to the oscillation page. So now for this oscillation page, you can see that the oscillation background has been completely fixed, and the content is scrolling over it. Okay, so we'll also try to achieve this effect. And for the workshops part, as you can see that the workshops slide in from the right. Okay, so we'll also achieve this transition, and there is again this footer. Okay. Okay, so I hope you all must have registered for the Figma account. Okay, it was free. So after you must have successfully logged in, you can see you will be greeted with this dashboard. Okay, so now the next step to start your project, what you have to do is that you can go to the top right hand corner, and there is this new button over here. Just click over it, and you will be greeted with the blank canvas. You'll be greeted with the blank canvas. Okay, so now I'll first cover all the basic panels over here of this software. So the first panel on the left hand side that we can see is the layers panel. Now this on this layers panel, all the elements or all of your groups or all of your components will be visible. I'll shortly explain about groups and components later. And you can also change the elevation or the order of the elements in from this layer tab. Okay, and another panel is called assets panel. Here all of your local components will be visible. We'll surely talk about components later. And now regarding this design tab, let me first just draw a basic rectangle. Okay, and let me fill it with, let us say, red color. Okay, so now if you select this rectangle from this layers panel, if you select this rectangle element from this layer panel, on the design panel on the right hand side, you can see all of its properties that you can alter. Okay, x and y coordinates are the coordinates with respect to this entire workspace. Width and height are obviously the width and height of the element. You can also control the tilt, that is the rotation of the element. You can also control the corner radius, that is the corner radius of the element. And there are much more properties like stroke, that is the outline of the figure. Fill, as I showed you, I changed the color. And effects are for drop down shadows. Now uh, let us go to inspect tab. Now whenever you will go to the inspect tab, you can directly copy its properties from here. You can also copy the hex color from here. You can also see the CSS properties of the object that you have selected. Okay, cool. Now Kritanjali will explain you all the basic tools that are over here on the top left corner.
Hey guys, so let's move on to exploring the different tools in Figma. So on the top left corner, you can see a lot of tools. Let's start from the extreme left. So first we have the move or the scale button, which looks whose shortcut is V by default keyboard shortcut. So it helps you to move around whatever layers you have reordered in the layers panel, or to move around the resize your objects. Then the second frame that we have is the frame tool, and its keyboard shortcut is F. So the frame, as soon as you click on the frame tool, you can see that in the design tab there are a list of templates of the most popular devices in the of the today's times available. So all of these templates, the phone one, we have different iPhone screens, Google Pixel, Androids, etc. In tablets, we have iPads and Surface Pros, etc. In the desktop, we have it for our MacBook, or all of or the other normal desktop screens. In presentation, we have a normal PowerPoint presentation ratios. In the next tab, we have our watches, where watches include all the Apple different screen sizes of our Apple Watch. Paper includes our normal papers of different sizes like A4, A5, A6, letterboard, etc. Social media includes our different types of things that we post on social media, like our Instagram posts, Instagram stories, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Figma community includes the plugin icons and profile banners of the posted on the community site. The next icon that we have is the shaped rectangle, which is basically for all the two pre-made shapes in Figma, default shapes like rectangle, whose keyboard shortcut is R, then there's line with the keyboard shortcut L, then there's arrow, ellipse, polygon, etc. So all of these are the inbuilt shapes of Figma. But what if you want to make a shape which is not from among of these? So the next tool is for that. That is the pen tool with the keyboard shortcut P. So the pen tool allows us to create custom shapes in Figma, or the points that you can see. These are the anchor points which we can move around and create shapes. Later on in one of the frames, we are going to use this pen tool, so that at that point it will be explained in much more detail. The next tool that we have is the text box. So the text box is basically to add text to our frames, and to format the text in different sizes, fonts, and all of that. The next tool that we have is the hand tool. So the hand tool has the keyboard shortcut H, or you can also use the space bar. It is basically used to move around in the screen. So when we have a lot of design frames made, then at that time it is a little difficult to move around without disturbing your prototype and wiring. So that is when this tool is used. The next tool that we have is the comments. So in Figma you can collaborate with other designers and make presentations and prototypes. So when you are working in a team, the comment box is helpful, so you can just comment and give feedbacks on the posts of other designers, so they can just go back to it and check it out. So this was all about the tools in Figma. And yeah, now let's start by designing our first frame, that is the landing page of our website.
Okay, thank you, Kritanjali. So we choose this frame tool, okay, and then we just place a frame right over here, and then we give it a width of 1920 by 1080. Now this is the preferred frame size that is usually preferred for prototypes when making desktop web apps. Okay, so now as you can see, the frame is presented over here. So let us move to this frame, and then we'll rename this frame 1 as landing page. Okay, so the reason why we rename our frames is that because our prototype design should make much more sense. So when our project will start scaling, renaming the frames will be very helpful in order to identify which frame is used for what. Okay. You can also rename your project by double clicking this text and writing your project name. Okay, cool. So now, as we saw in the prototype, I'll just show this again. Uh, yeah. So as we saw in the prototype, this is our landing page, and we are trying to achieve this transition while going from landing page to the home page. So what we can do is that we can select this landing page's frame and then fill it with with an image. Okay, so now the background fill for the landing page was a moving gif. So we click on image and then choose image, and then I'll request you all to go to the assets folder, zip folder provided to you all, and then go to the home folder, and then you can choose background gif. Okay, so when you double click it, it just fills your frame with it, and then you can if you see very carefully, there is this play button over here. So if you click this play button, this GIF will start playing in this mini preview window. Okay. Now the background is done. Now what about the IETE logo? So what you can do is that again go to the assets folder, and then go to oscillation page, and then drag and drop your asset from your local storage to the Figma. Okay. Now one more good thing about this prototyping software is that you do not have to make too much of clicks like import image, import JPG image. Just open your folder, drag and drop the asset, and that's it. Okay, it was as easy as that. Okay, so we just resize it a bit, and we'll select it. And over here in the design panel, you can see that this symbol stands for align the horizontal centers. Okay, so this image will be auto aligned horizontally. Now below this image there was this text called IETE set. So I'll just drag this text. We'll change its font size to 70. We'll change its fonts fill, that is the font's color, to white, and then we'll start typing. So IETE. So you can just resize it. Yeah. Okay. So we have also aligned this center aligned this text as well. Now what we will do is that our landing page is completed. Now we'll also make another frame with the same size. So again press F on your keyboard or select frame from the toolbar, and then give it the same width and height as before, like 1920 by 1080. Okay. Again double click on this frame's name to rename it, and rename it as home page. Okay. Now our prototype also had the same background as the landing page. So again select this home page and go to fill, click on this drop down menu, and instead of solid color click on image. Now apart from solid and image, there are also various other fills like linear, radial, angular, diamond. These are nothing but the gradient shades. Okay, so for now we require a GIF image, so we click on image, choose image. Okay, done. So now in order to achieve that transition, what we could do is that multi select this IET logo and this IET text. Now how do you multi select in Figma is that you click on the first thing, and then press shift or press control, and keep on selecting multiple items. Okay, now as you can see, these both items are highlighted in the layers panel. So after multi-selecting them, what you could do is that you could press Control and D. Now Control plus D stands for duplicate. So as you can see, these two objects are duplicated. Now what you can do is that name these all of these four elements with the same name. So name this logo image as IT logo. Okay. Name both of them as IT logo, and the text is the same. Okay. So again, multi-select both of them, and if you click and drag them, you can also move them to another layer. So as you can see, now these are moved to the home pages layer. Now what you can do is that just drag it and place it in the home page. Okay. Okay, cool. Now what we can do is that we can resize this logo. We'll just align it. We'll also change the font size to let us say 50. Okay, just resize it again.
A lot of people in the chat feel that your pace is a little fast, so if you could just slow down a little bit.
Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, so we'll just resize this image, and also we decreased the font size. So now multi-select them again and just try to center align it. Okay. Okay, so we are done. Now for that transition, for this, this transition to work, what you have to do is that we'll learn about the prototyping. So what is prototyping and what is need for prototyping will be explained by Prachi.
Hello everyone, I'm Prachi and I'll explain how Figma's prototyping works. So basically, prototyping features allow us to create interactive flows that ultimately helps the user to understand how the other users are going to interact with the designs. So basically, it is the flow that you would want while building a website. So for prototyping, click on the frame, that is the landing page, and then we'll click on the upper right corner of called prototype. Then we'll click on the interactions, and when you click on interactions, we have a lot of options like click on drag while hovering, etc. So for this transition, we are going to choose the option on click. Key or gamepad, and then we are going to click on the down arrow key, and then we want to navigate to the home page. So basically, while clicking the down arrow key, we'll navigate from the landing page to the home page. So for animations, again, we'll come across different animations. Whether you want your frame to dissolve, move in, move out. So right now we are going to select on Smart Animate and ease out, and we are going to go with the default 300 ms time. Then uh, then our interactions are done, and then for coming back from home page to landing page, we'll click on the home page, interactions. We are going to click on key, upper arrow key, and then we are going to go to navigate to landing page. Then again we'll select the Smart Animate animation, and that's it.
Okay, so now basically, thank you, Prachi. So now basically we have achieved that transition. So if you look at this carefully, the logo is being shrinking, has been shrunken down in the home page, as well as this text is text. The font size of this text is reduced a little bit, and it is being placed at another location. So if you remember, we chose Smart Animate. So this change of the size from one transition frame to another transition frame is controlled by that Smart Animate option. Okay. So let us try playing this animation. Okay. Okay, so for presenting or playing your prototype, there is this play button besides the share. So you just click on it. Okay. As you can see, this transition is being implemented successfully. Okay. Now let us move on to the concept of components. Okay. So what are components? Components are nothing but the reusable elements that you create on your own and reuse it over your entire prototype on different frames. Now there are two types of components. One is main component or the parent component, and another one is a sub component or the child component. So any changes you make in your main component will be reflected to your child component. So this improves your reusability, and you do not need to make changes again and again. Now a practical example of a component on a website can be a navigation bar or the menu bar. Now generally many websites have many web pages, right? So let us say if a website has like 10 pages, so there is this navigation bar mostly on all of the 10 pages. Okay. Let us say after your prototype has been finished and you are not using and you are not declaring your navigation bar as a component. Let us say in future if there is a change in navigation bar, you have to make a change. So you will have to make that change in all of the 10 instances of it. Okay, if you are not using component. But if you will use component, you just have to make changes in the main component, and boom, everything will be replaced in all of the components. Okay, so your time has been saved a lot. So as I said, let us try to make a navigation bar right from scratch by using this rectangle shape tool. Okay, so we just select on this rectangle and we just click on this art space to place it. Then we'll give it the width same as our frame, that is 1920. Okay, and let us say give it a height of 85 pixels. Okay. Okay, this looks a bit better. Now again what you could do is that you can go to the assets folder, zip folder provided by us. You can drag and drop the IETE logo. Okay, now what you can do is that you can again resize this IETE logo so that it goes and fits inside the navigation bar. Okay, cool. So uh, with that being done, now let us move to the navigation links. So navigation links are nothing but these above links, that is this home and oscillation. Okay, now this is nothing but this is just a text. Okay, so you choose on the text tool, you just click over here and then you write home. Okay, and select it, choose its color as white. Okay, and let us give it a font size of, let us say 40. Okay, or maybe 45. Okay, and then you can again select this text tool, or what you could do is that again press Ctrl D, which stands for duplicate. The text element has been duplicated again. So what you can do is that you can drag it. Okay, and just change this home to OSCILLATION, oscillation. Okay, so yeah, this is done. Now what our navigation bar is almost ready. Now what you can do is that you can select this entire thing. In the layers panel you can see everything is selected. You can right click over here and click on create component, or press Ctrl Alt and K. Okay, so in the layer tab, you can see it has been renamed as component 1, but we will rename it as nav bar, which stands for navigation bar. Okay, now we'll do nothing but we'll just drag this and place it on our home page. Okay, now another thing is that in our prototype, this navigation bar is transparent. as you can see, the background is completely visible. So we'll select this navigation bar from this layers panel. We'll scroll down a bit. We'll find this fill property, click on it, and there is this second scrollable input field that you can see. Just decrease its you can just decrease its transparency, so or increase its transparency. So just extend the nav bar and click on this rectangle and make it transparent. Okay. Okay, so why this thing is white? Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, the navigation bar has been made completely transparent. So the same we did for this rectangle. Okay, so now the entire component is transparent. So yeah, that is basically it. Now let us proceed on uh, to adding further content. So there is this about us text that you can see on this home page. So you can go to the assets frame link that we have provided to you. So if you scroll down on this frame, you can see this heading called homepage content. Uh, you can see this heading called homepage content. Now you can select this about us and its content and just press Ctrl C, that is copy. Now the reason why we have provided you this assets frame with all of these content, and we are telling you to copy and paste, is that you will save time and you do not need to type everything. Okay, so just go on your main project and press Ctrl V to paste. Okay, cool. Now uh, let us add this moving introductory GIF or this introduction video. So go to the materials provided, go to homepage assets, click and drag this intro GIF, and then select this intro GIF and resize it to 1920 pixels, and then place it right here. And these red lines are nothing but these are guidelines. So with the help of these guidelines, your element just snaps or snips to the center or according to the alignment of your frame. Okay, so let me just move this inside of the home page. Okay, cool. Yeah. Now another section after this introductory video on your home page is testimonials, and we'll try to achieve this scrolling card effect. Okay, so yeah, so first let us give this title, change its font size to 50, change its color to white, and write TS. Okay, testimonials, align it to selected, align it to center. Okay. Now, in our prototype, we can see that this ESCOM card is a different shape. Okay, this white card is a different shape. It is not been provided by Figma as well. So what you can do to make custom shapes is that you can click on this pen tool and click on this pen tool and Okay, and just change its stroke color to white so that we could see that what we are doing on a black background. And connect these dots to make your custom shape. Okay, so we'll try to achieve that shape. Okay, connect the dot, extend the line, and if you hover on this top stroke, you can see that there is this cursor just snips on the center of it. So again, extend the line from right from the center. So this will act like a reference point. Okay, center reference point. Now click on it, just join it, click on it, join it again. Okay, as you can see, the basic frame is ready. Click on done. Okay. I'll just decrease its width. Okay, so did you all follow up till now? Yeah, thanks, Tushar. The lorem ipsum is like, uh, dummy text that you could also use instead of copy pasting the about us thing. Did you all follow that how to make this card thing? Can someone write yes or no in the chat? Okay, cool. So now what we could do is that we'll just double click on it to select this vector image again, and this center line was just a reference line. Now it is not useful to us, so we'll just drag it back. Okay, and we'll just remove this center reference line. Okay, yeah, and we'll click on done. Now you can see this vector outline has been selected. You can go to the right hand side design panel. You can add a fill by clicking on this plus button and just change its color from default gray to white. Okay, now we are done with this custom shape. Now another thing that you can see over here is that the SCOM's profile photo is in oval shape, right? So we'll select the ellipse, or you can press O on your keyboard. You can just drag this ellipse and just try to center align it. These red guidelines are really very helpful. They just snap your object right to the place. Okay. Now again, as we saw, we'll fill it with the image of our XSCOM, which is in the homepage file or homepage folder. Okay. You can also drag this image around just to replace it. And yeah, so there is also this outline. So we'll add a stroke, and for the color of the stroke, you can go to the assets panel, and on the top right hand side of this assets panel, I have given you all of the colors. So you can select this you know uh, golden brown color, and you can copy its text. You can copy its hex value and you can just paste this hex value and press enter. As you can see, the color of the outline has been changed. Uh, you can also uh, okay. Is my screen visible? I just forgot to connect my charger. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Okay. We'll increase the thickness of its stroke by changing its value from 1 to, let us say, 4. Okay. So the thickness of this stroke has been changed. Now you can notice that there is this caption kind of symbol, okay, or quote symbol, okay. So this is again not available by default in Figma. So what you could do is that you can go to this hamburger icon, go to plugins, and you can click on browse plugins in community. Or another thing you could do is that right click anywhere in the empty art space, go to plugins and select browse plugins in the community. Okay. Now we need an icon, right? So now, thanks to Figma community and all the UI UX developers, they have made wonderful plugins for user interface, such as for fonts, for prototyping, for icons, for animations, etc. So currently, we'll select on this icon. And Iconify is a very popular plugin. As you can see, its downloads are 326K. Okay. Now mine is already installed. Y'all can install this plugin. I'll just wait for like 10 seconds. Okay. I'll just wait for some time so that you download this plugin. Okay. So Sagar Murli, you have raised your hand. Agicha Sagar Murli, if I am pronouncing it right. Or you can also type your doubt in the chats if you do not want to unmute.
My doubt is the chats are disabled from here.
Okay.
So I can't type anything from here.
Okay.
Sagar, could just if
Yes.
you could just rejoin, it will fix that.
Sorry.
If you could just rejoin, it will fix that.
Okay, I will.
Okay. So have you all installed the plugin? I was waiting for it. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So now let us move back to our prototype. Now after you install your plugin, it will be visible in this plugin drop down. You can see this Iconify plugin. Just click on it. It will pop up a window for Iconify. you can search your desired icon over here. So I have written codes and just click on find icons. So from these 10 results, our results matches with the first one. Okay, so just click on the first one and then you can add its color. So I have added this golden brown color to it, and then just click on import icon. Okay. Yeah. So now, as you can see, I had selected this entire frame. Therefore, the icon has been imported right here in the middle. So it is very hard to select. Yeah. Okay. So before importing, just remember select this vector image first and then import it. Okay. So it will import over the top of the vector.
Can you please repeat this step? I think somebody has a doubt in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So after you installed your Iconify plugin, what you could do is that you can right click again in the entire workspace and click on this plugin. Just hover on this plugin drop down and then click on the Iconify plugin. Okay. Then you can type in your query. Now you can search for any icon over here. So for example, if I write Facebook, there is this Facebook icon. Okay. So, but for now, we want this quotes icon, which was in our prototype. This icon on the top is called quotes icon. Okay. So we search for it in our plugin and click on find icons. We select this first result because this is the nearest matching result, and we change its color and then click on import icon. Okay. So as you can see, it has been imported on our frame. Okay. So you can just close this window now, and again you can just resize this vector image, okay, according to your requirements. You can just place it in the center. Now the reason why there are no guidelines over here is that because it is outside of the home page, and so what you can do is that just place it over this vector. Okay. So from layers tab, you could change the order. Yeah. You can see the guidelines are now visible. Okay. Initially they were not because it was outside of your reference frame. So this layers tab helps you to rearrange the order of the elements. Okay. Okay. So now the last thing that remains is that the SCOM's bio, right? So you could again go to assets. Okay, and just copy this SCOM bio, or as someone mentioned in the chat, you can also write lorem ipsum, which is a dummy text. I'll just copy this bio, decrease its font size to, let us say, 25, and decrease its width also. You can just yeah, you can just play around with the size and the alignment. I'll just remove some text so that it fits. Yeah. Okay, so while prototyping, you will experience this a lot. So you just have to play around according to the requirement. Okay. Yeah. So now this SCOM card is ready. So what you can do is that you can select this entire thing, press Ctrl G. Okay. So what we did was we grouped this custom made component, and it has been renamed as group 1 in the layers tab in the layers panel over here. So you can double click on it and rename it as card. Okay. So now, as you can see, I can move this as a whole card. Okay. Yeah. So now what we'll do is that we'll make some copies of this card. Okay. So by selecting this card and pressing Control D, you can duplicate it and duplicate it various times. Yeah. So now what we can do is that we'll make, okay, we'll just select all of these cards. Okay. And right click on them and then select frame selection. Okay, now they are inside of a frame. Okay, inside of our reference frame, and we'll rename this as SCOM scroll. So basically on this we want this horizontal scroll effect. Okay, yeah. So what you can also do is that you can decrease the size of this frame. Okay, and now you can see the content is overflowing outside of this frame. Okay, so you can, what you can do is that go to this design panel and click on clip content. Okay, so as you can see, the content is still there. Okay, it has not gone somewhere, it is just not being displayed. So you can just center align this. Yeah. Now another thing to add is that the horizontal scroll effect. So keep this SCOM scroll frame selected. Go to prototype tab. Choose its overflow behavior as horizontal scrolling. Okay. So yeah, we are done with this horizontal scrolling now. Yeah. Okay. So is this horizontal scrolling thing clear? Thank you, Ronit. Thank you, Parth. Sagar, thank you. Okay. So let us just increase the height of the our home page, and let us proceed to adding a footer. Okay. So footer is also footer is same as the navigation bar. That means that it is also a component. So I'll again not waste time in explaining you about the component thing again. So what I'll do is go to the assets tab.
Some
Yeah.
people are asking you to repeat.
Repeat which part? This scroll
I
thing.
think the scroll thing, yeah.
Yeah. Can you? Yeah, sure. Okay. So, let me just okay. Okay, so I'll redo this entire thing again. Okay, so up till card, everyone understood, right? So now in our prototype, you can see that these cards are scrolling. Okay. Yeah, so they are inside of a scrollable frame. So for that to happen, what you have to do is that we'll just duplicate these cards first of all. Okay, since this is just an example, so I won't be changing the SCOM image again and again. Okay, we'll duplicate these cards just multiple times. Okay, yeah, so was this understood? Duplication part? Can someone reply? Janvi, Sahil. Okay, cool. Okay, okay. So now, after these cards are duplicated, we want to put them into a scrollable frame. So what we will do from this layers tab, we'll select all of the cards. Okay, we have selected all of our scrollable cards, and then we right click on this selected part, and then we press frame selection. Okay, So now all of your selected elements will be placed inside of a frame. Okay. Now just rename this frame as SCOM scroll. Okay, cool. Now, if you see in this prototype, the cards are not overflowing, right? So what you can do, is that just decrease the size of its scroll. Okay, and to avoid this overflow, what you can do is that press on this clip content option. Okay, the content is still there, it is just clipped out. Okay, that is, it will be not visible outside of this scrollable frame. Is this much clear? Cool. Now, after that, the last step to achieve the scrollable effect will be to select this SCOM scroll frame, go to prototyping, select overflow behavior as horizontal scrolling. Done. That's it. Okay. Now this scrolling effect will be achieved. Yeah. Cool. So now let us move to this footer, which is nothing but a, which will be nothing but a component for now. This is a frame. So go to assets tab, select a footer, just press Ctrl C to copy this entire frame and paste it over your project. Okay, and just align it properly. Yeah. Now again right click on this footer and choose create component. Okay, since the frame's name was footer, it was automatically this component was automatically renamed as footer. Just bring this footer inside of this home page. Okay, so now for this hover effect on the social media link thing, what you can do is that you can select this social media icon. You can again duplicate it, just bring it outside of the frame. Okay, now you can see in the layers tab, this entire social media vector has been selected as a frame. You can drop down, you can also extend this group and select on vector. Okay, now this vector thing, okay, so this vector thing is white in color, so we want it to be orange, right? So just go to the fill, change its color to orange. Okay, if you cannot find this orange, you can always go to this assets and select this orange from here. Okay, yeah, so done. Now to add that hover effect, what you can do is that select this icon again, go to prototyping, add an interactions. As Prachi said that to add any of transition or any of the interactions, you will have to go to the prototype tab. Okay, add an interaction. Now that event was triggering on hovering. Okay, so select while hover and click on this none to open overlay, which means that open overlay of what? Open overlay of this frame. Okay, so now this means that when you will hover over this icon, the this orange wala frame will be opened over will open over the this white icons frame. Okay, so just select this centered. You can also select a manual, and you can manually place where you want it to display. Okay, so for now just keep it where it was, and for the animation we want it to dissolve. Okay, so you can also see in this preview plane how the animation will work. Okay, so yeah, this is done. You can repeat the same thing for other icons too. Okay, so yeah, we are done with the landing page and home page. So was everything clear up till now? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll move to the oscillation page. So again, we'll select the frame. Okay. Yeah. Again, select the frame and then resize it to 1920 by 1080. Okay, we'll rename it as oscillation. Okay, and just so that you know, oscillation page looks something like this. Okay, and the background image is fixed and the content is scrolling over it. So what you can do is that keep this frame selected and go to the assets, go to oscillation page and drag and drop your landing page image. Just fill it with this. Okay, extend your oscillation pages frame. Okay, yeah. So now if you want to fix something with respect to the frame, what you can do is select that element over here. We select our landing pages theme, that is this image, and then we press on we check box this fixed position when scrolling thing. Okay, now what we have to do is that we have to make another scrollable layer which will have all the content which will scroll over this fixed layer. Okay, so what do I mean by that is that all of this about us section and this workshop content section and this footer along with this background, along with this wood background, will be put inside of another frame which will be scrollable. Okay, vertically scrollable. So again select on the frame, just give it the same width as 19. Okay, give it the same height, name it as scrollable, scrollable. Okay, just drag this scrollable inside of this fixed. Okay, and just place it over here. Now what you can do is that okay, so now what you can do is that you can go to fill and make it transparent. Okay, so that the white color isn't visible, and just extend this scrollable frame. So basically this scrollable frame means that all of your mouse actions when you will scroll when inside of this frame will trigger something. Okay, so inside of this scrollable frame we'll put another frame. We'll name it as content, content, content. Okay, just drag it and just indent it inside of the scrollable frame. Okay, we'll also give it the same width. Okay, let me just yeah. So yeah, so for this content frame you can see the theme is different. Okay, the image, background image is different. So what you can do is that go to fill, again select on image, choose a file. Yeah, choose a file, go to workshop page and select the wood background. Okay, and after that you will see this frame has a background of this wood theme, dark wood theme. But the problem is that when you will try to extend this frame now, it will zoom in on this background image. Okay, which looks really bad. See, it is zooming in. So in order to prevent that, what you can do is that select this keep this content layer selected, again go to fill and choose this drop down and select tile. Okay, so as you can see this image is being repeated on x and y axis also. Okay, the y axis isn't visible since we have not extended it, but it is repeating on x axis. So instead of this 50%, what you can do is that make it 500. Okay, so now whenever you will extend this content frame as much as you want, okay, it will not zoom in. So go to scrollable, just extend it, go to oscillation page, extend it further a bit. Yeah, now let us focus on the content. So yeah, so from this assets tab, if you want, you can copy paste this about us about the event thing, but for now I'll just skip due to the time constraints. Yeah, so I'll just focus on this workshop content thing, okay, which is sliding in. Yeah, for now I will not copy paste this text. I'll just focus on this sliding in content, okay. Yeah, so now how we achieve that slide in thing is that we make another frame, name name it as workshop place, okay. Basically this is nothing but workshops frames placeholder, okay. So just drag it over here, okay, just center align it, and to extend it symmetrically, what you can do is that press and hold the alt key on your keyboard and just extend it from one side. It will also extend symmetrically from other side, okay. So this much width looks perfect. Let me just give it a random height, okay. Yeah, this looks perfect. Now what we could do is that we could again duplicate this frame, just bring it outside, rename it as workshop content. Now yeah, so basically what we are trying to do over here is that when our mouse will enter in this workshop placeholder area, it will be replaced by this workshop content ka frame, and the frame will move in from the right hand side to the left hand side, okay. So basically we are trying to achieve that. So we'll just click on this workshop placeholder frame. So first of all we'll make it transparent, okay, and then what we will do is that we'll select this content frame. We'll also make it transparent. Yeah. So now again you can go to the assets panel. You can just select this Android workshop and Python workshop. Now these two are grouped. So just copy it again and then paste it over your workshop content, okay. It just fits in perfectly, right. Just if you want, you can resize this frame a bit. Okay, looks good. Now for that slide in transition to take place, again go to the workshop placeholder, go to prototype, add interaction. Now what was that interaction on which that animation was triggering was mouse enter, okay. When the mouse will enter in this area, we want that animation to trigger. So add an interaction, choose mouse enter, go to open overlay, select workshop content, okay. Basically the workshop content will be will replace or will be on the top of this workshop placeholder, okay. Now the animation we wanted to move in from you can also choose the direction. It is by default from right to left. We wanted to ease out in 400 milliseconds so that it is visible, okay. Cool. So now overlay, choose manual, just align it to the center, okay. So just so that it looks decent. Cool. Okay, this is scrollable, this is content, and oops. Okay. So now again we have to place a footer. So directly go to the assets panel. You can see these local components that we made are are very handy now, are very handy to use now. So you can just drag this footer as an entire component and just toss it right here. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So now for this scrollable layer to work, you have to select this scrollable layer, click on prototype, choose its overflow behavior as vertical scrolling. Okay. But as you can see that there is this small exclamation mark over here, which says for scrolling to work on this frame, the content needs to be bigger than the frame. Okay. So the reason why we are getting that error or warning sign is that our content frame is equal or lesser than this scrollable frame. So just what you can do is that click on this content frame, go to design and make it bigger than the scrollable frame. So how you will make it bigger than the scrollable frame is that by varying its height. So click on its height. Just you can also perform mathematical operations over here. So the height currently is 2118 pixels. So what you can do is write star 2, that is multiply by 2 and press enter. Okay. So as you can see, this content layer has been is bigger than this scrollable layer, and now we do not have that exclamation mark over here, which means that the content is now overflowing this scrollable layer, which is perfect, which is what we want. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, another thing we forgot to add was the oscillation logo. So let us add the oscillation logo. Okay, so before that, let me just move this content. Yeah. Okay, so let us just add this main oscillation logo. So go to files, add the logo. Another thing remaining is Another thing remaining is our navigation bar. Just drag it. Okay. So yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, this is basically it. So we have pretty much completed what we were trying to achieve in this workshop. Okay. So did you all follow this oscillation page part? Yeah, yeah, you can press that play button. Okay, so this oscillation part was okay. So this oscillation part, was it clear? Okay, cool. Thank you, Sarthak. Tushar, thanks. Thank you, Manav. Puneet. Yeah. Okay, so now Rohit will tell you all about the competition that we are going to. Okay, so now Rohit will tell you about the competition that we will be holding. So Rohit.
Rohit, unmute yourself.
Rohit, unmute.
Yeah, so hey guys, so here's the problem statement. So as we know that in this corona time or like earlier too, like finding a place to live in is like if it becomes easy if we have something online, right? So your task is to redesign magicbricks.com, you know, one of the popular website. So you will have to redesign it. The submission for that link will be provided in the chat box, and it will be active till tomorrow 3:45 p 3:30 p.m. Sorry, my bad. So make sure that you submit before that, and all the best. If any doubts, you can ask. Any doubts, guys, regarding this competition? Output. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, so I'll present it again. So, yeah. Okay, for the entire thing to work, what you can do is that uh, this navigation bar is basically connecting every page, right? So you can go to this navigation bar on the home page. You can double click on this oscillation text, and you can add a prototype, add interactions. On click, you want to navigate to oscillation page. Okay. And similarly, for the oscillation page, click on home, and on click, you want to go to home page. Okay. So yeah, another thing that you could do is that click on this logo and navigate to landing page. Okay. So basically our pages are connected. Now let us just present this once. Okay, so this is our landing page. Okay, the transition also works. The GIFs also work. This scroll effect also works. This hover effect, Rohit, just mute yourself. This hover effect also works. And the navigation link, they also work, right? Just like a normal navigation bar, okay? And we have also achieved that effect, okay? The content slides in, okay? I've just kept that about us text, okay? This that was nothing, just a text, okay? So I've just kept it, okay? Do we have to recreate the website or? Yeah, you can add your own imagination to it. There is no restriction. Okay, Prabmeet. Thank you, Tushar.
So guys, we have pasted the link in the chat box. Just check it out and please save the link. Okay. So even if you want to submit tomorrow morning or whenever before 3:30, so make sure you save the link and submit it by 3:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, sure, Prabmeet. You can reach out to us if you have any doubts.
And another addition, you guys have to only recreate the home page of Magic Bricks.
Prithvi, you cannot do that by default in Figma, but you might have to do some research about that whether there is some Figma plugin available for it or not. Okay. If there is, then yes, you can. But regarding the basic shapes like rectangle with some border radius or ellipse with some altered properties with their coordinates in it, you can just copy paste its entire CSS. Okay. For the HTML tags, there might or might not be some plugin. Okay, Prithvi.
Plugins are not that efficient because a lot of times they export the code into a much longer file. Like there are a lot of lines of code which you can actually complete in a very few lines. So the plugins are not that efficient if you find any of them, and they are quite messed up.
Yeah, right. So, Sushil, is this workshop was this workshop recorded?
Yes, the workshop was recorded and it will be sent to the participants.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so can we connect Figma template to a backend framework like Django? What do you exactly mean by this? I mean, okay, so for Django, I do not know about Node.js, but yeah, for Django, what you do is that you create your own templates, right? So after you, uh, you know, confirm your prototype that okay, this is what I'm going to make. You use your HTML and CSS skills to make those templates. Okay. Uh, I don't think so that there is some efficient plugin to connect Figma directly to some framework like Django. I don't think so. Okay. So most probably, if you have completed your design, you will have to use HTML, CSS, and make your own templates in Django. Okay, Prithvi. Yeah. By the way, Prithvi, I am also a Django developer. Thank you, Juhi.
You guys can leave if you don't have any doubts.
निकल गए क्या सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स? अच्छा
हाँ हाँ निकल
कृतांजलि सब भी
गए।
निकल गए।
रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ कर दो।
अच्छा कृतांजलि
हाँ
अरे
हाँ
कैन यू
recording
put
is
your
off.
video on?